Okay, and we're live on Facebook.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I can see that the room is starting to fill with members of the media. I am Josh Matthews, and welcome to Press Pass, our first of two Press Passes this week as we get ready for Bound for Glory live Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. The inspiration will be your guests tomorrow. I am pleased to welcome in my guest, the former X Division champion, the number one contender, the challenger for the world championship, Josh Alexander. Josh is here, folks. But before we get to Josh Alexander, and we'll start questions for him pretty shortly, before we get to that, just some house cleaning stuff. Don't forget, guys, of course, Bound for Glory this Saturday. It all gets started at 9 p.m. Eastern time with This Is Bound for Glory, which will be streaming live on YouTube as well as Fight TV. And then 9:30 live inside the sold out Sam's Town Casino in Las Vegas. 9:30 countdown to glory. You don't have to do anything. If you're already streaming This Is Bound for Glory, then you will start streaming Countdown to Glory at 9:30 live. We will have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony of Awesome Kong, and we'll announce who is inducting Awesome Kong on the broadcast Thursday night, the final show. You guys will get that information on Thursday. That's at 9:30. And then, of course, the Digital Media Championship six-way match will take place on Countdown to Glory. Then Saturday night, of course, 10 p.m., the main course, so to speak, Bound for Glory. You can order on YouTube, and you can also obviously stream through your pay-per-view providers. So that's everything Saturday. You guys had the movie last night, Roadhouse. All my days are running together, but last night was Roadhouse with the Good Brothers. And for everything that you guys need to know, ImpactWrestling.com has it all covered, has everything that you guys need to get to. So I see some questions are already lining up in our chat, which is awesome. Before we get to all the media, I'm going to start with the question as I welcome in Josh Alexander. Josh, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for Saturday. I'm hyped.
When do you leave? When does the journey start?
I leave Thursday evening. I'm coming in a day before because my family's going to be coming down the day after, so I just want to prepare everything.
Nice. So. Well, do you have any regrets? That's my first question. Giving up the X Division Championship, exercising option C, and now main event, Bound for Glory, sold out. We announced that yesterday. How are you feeling?
I mean, I feel good, man. As far as regrets, I think I'd have to answer that question after, all is said and done Saturday, because my answer might change. Right now, not a single regret to be thought of. Everything has culminated almost 16 years of my career to this point, and I have to just bank on all that experience I've garnered over those 16 years coming into play and being to my advantage on Saturday night at Bound for Glory.
Did you always think that you would be in this position when you started with Impact, a member of the North with Ethan Page? Did you think eventually I'm going to be competing for the world championship on the biggest night of the year? And did you think it would happen this quickly after you became a single star?
I mean, you always daydream about the possibility of this happening. And I've always been confident in my wrestling ability to know that I can, be in a main event position. I can go up against the best wrestlers in the world, the ones that hold that Impact Wrestling Championship. So I've always been confident in my ability in that, whether or not it was going to materialize. And this fast, I definitely never thought that was possible. You could have told me 6 months ago this was going to happen, I would have laughed at you. But things have all broken the right way, and I made the best of every opportunity that I was given, I think, and that's why I'm standing here today.
Awesome. Well, I know there's a lot of folks waiting to ask you some questions as we get ready for Saturday night. So guys, be ready with your questions. Simon's going to do his best to get everybody in. We'll do our best to get all the questions asked from everybody here. And our first participant, our first media member question will come from Jerry from Sports Matters TV in Ireland. Jerry, welcome to Press Pass. What's your question for Josh Alexander?
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for your time this evening. Josh, a quick two-part question. First of all, recently you hung up your hard hat recently for your full-time, your 40-hour-a-week job recently, which is probably a big thing for yourself to finally give up that. But to make history now that you're actually on the cusp of becoming the 9th person to be a Triple Crown winner in Impact TNA history. How both of those feelings, how are they comparing to each other at the moment?
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. Like, as I quit my job and decided to like take that safety net away and just dive all the way into my wrestling, profession, it was all kind of the catalyst for all that was what's going on right now, and just the run I was on as X Division champion and the stuff that I knew I could do in the future, and I knew I just had to be able to dedicate more time to that. And it wasn't like I couldn't have done it years ago, but I just figured now was the perfect time to bet on myself and, just like go all in, as they say. As far as the Triple Crown thing, in the first 2.5 years of me being in this company, it's something I never would have thought possible, but it's something that's definitely been on my mind. I've seen it mentioned here and there, and it would definitely be a nice like feather in the cap, as they say. But I can't look past Saturday. It can break either way, but it would definitely be cool.
Yeah, well, we're big fans of Christian here in Ireland, but we're fully behind you for the title this weekend. So we hope it happens.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh.
Jerry from Sports Matters TV in Ireland, thank you so much for your questions. Certainly hope that everybody is as ready as the folks over there in Ireland are for Bound for Glory as we are over here. Mentioned sold out. But don't forget to tell your readers, listeners, however you get to your fans, that they can join us Sunday and Monday, the 2 days following Bound for Glory at Sam's Town in Las Vegas. Tickets are still available. You can get them at Ticketmaster.com. Next up, we are going to Michael Morales Torres from Lucha Libre Online. Michael, hello and welcome. What's your question for Josh Alexander?
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Josh, we spoke a little bit during the last year and a half, and your life changed drastically. You were working on a full-time job plus being a wrestler. Just a few months ago, you were a tag team wrestler. As Josh Matthews mentioned earlier today, you earned the X Division Championship. And now, after so many sacrifices, you have the opportunity to become not just the heavyweight champion, but the face of the whole company. To the young Josh Alexander that grew up watching wrestling, to the guy that went through so many injuries, that went through another job as well to support his family and keep doing things. You finally had the chance to be on top and to be the face. I'm not talking to the performer, I'm talking to the human. How do you feel?
It's kind of like that, you need to pinch me type of thing. It's all unbelievable to me because, 6 years ago, as I've said before, I laid in a hospital bed thinking that I was never going to get to do this again. And I think that everything I've done up to this point, all the, brick walls that were like put in the way of my journey, and I had to work my way around and figure things out. I think they all did me like a great benefit to be in this position I'm in now. And they've all helped because, I just take it day by day. I don't set this monumental goal that I need to achieve for happiness. Like I'm enjoying everything I do month in, month out. And it's always just a new opportunity and a bigger and better thing. And, it is unbelievable, but I'm very happy doing it.
Michael, thank you very much for your question this afternoon, and we will continue to move right along. Lots of questions, lots of hands up in this virtual press pass. Coming up next is our longtime friend, Jimmy V from the Miami Herald. Jim, what's up, buddy? What do you got for Josh Alexander?
Hey, thank you, Josh M. Thank you, Josh A. I just would like to know, Josh Alexander. So Josh mentioned a little bit about the tag team. You talked about it going from tag team to singles. I'm just curious as to what things you had to navigate when you first started that transition from tag to singles, just to adjust and try to get used to and get yourself in the position that you've been doing so well at in singles wrestling right now.
Well, like I said, like I've been wrestling for nearly 16 years. So before I came to Impact, I was one of the top wrestlers independently in Canada. I got to test myself in a singles capacity like many times for a bunch of years. So I had a lot of experience as a singles wrestler. The only thing I had to really adjust to in Impact Wrestling was from the moment I started in Impact, I was a tag team wrestler. And, after that near like year and a half, 2 year run, now I was on my own. And it's just that you got to swim by yourself now. You got to navigate those waters by yourself. You don't have anybody there to share in the stresses or, the pressure. It's all on you and all eyes are on you. And it's just adjusting mentally to that and being prepared for it. But luckily, as I said, I had a great stepping into that position. So I think I've made the best of all those opportunities because of that.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you very much. Appreciate your question. I know you're looking forward to Bound for Glory Saturday night and can't wait to see the coverage from you guys after the pay-per-view is completed. Coming up next, as we move right along, Tom Campbell from Cultaholic. Tom, welcome. And what's your question for Josh Alexander?
There we go. Can you hear me? There we go. Thank you, Josh. And hello, Josh. Just a question regarding sort of the
Hello,
locker room
Tom.
area, because like the Forbidden Door with Impact and AEW and AAA and New Japan and NWA is swinging off the hinges. As fans, it's amazing because we're getting all kinds of dream matches and you are in the premier match at Bound for Glory. But what's the vibe with people like yourself, Josh, an Impact OG, with this influx of talent from other places? Is it a challenge to get in amongst it? Obviously, you've punched to the main event of Bound for Glory, but what's the vibe with so many new faces constantly coming in and out from a backstage perspective, from an Impact OG?
I would say that it's all the same for a fan and a wrestler. I think we're all just like chomping at the bit for these opportunities. And when I say that, it's because the Forbidden Door leaves opportunities for wrestlers to show they can compete with these people from other companies. So it's all sort of like a competitive thing. Like me as an Impact member of the locker room, and we as the Impact locker room, we want to show that we can compete with AEW, we can compete with New Japan, we can compete with AAA, we can do all this stuff. And like if you put us on the marquee with all these guys, then we're going to stack up against them every single time, because our locker room is like, we have a deep locker room and we just want to show it. We're all competitive and we all want to fly the Impact banner as much as we can. So we embrace it.
I'm excited to see you fly it against Christian over the weekend. Best of luck, and thanks for taking my question. Cheers.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom, appreciate it. Once again, guys, just a reminder, and this is coming from Ross, not me. I would love to talk to you guys all day, but we do have about 43 minutes left. We will conclude at the top of the hour, just so everyone is aware. And with that being said, we want to get to everybody as quickly as we can. So I will keep my spiels in between as short as possible. Up next, our buddy Riju from Sportskeeda in India. Riju, I have no idea when we're coming back to India, buddy. So don't even ask me.
I will not. Congratulations, Josh. It's a big. Is it the biggest match of your career? And my actual question is that we have learned from D'Lo Brown. I mean, I was checking out an interview of his. He compared you to Impact Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. What do you think of this comparison?
First, yes, I would say that this match this Saturday night at Bound for Glory is the biggest match of my career. If you took out the fact that it's against a legend, not only in Impact Wrestling, but in the sport of professional wrestling and Christian, me just being in the main event and wrestling for that world championship would be the biggest match of my career. And it gets even bigger and the pressure gets even higher when you add someone like Christian that I have to defeat in order to, have that all materialize. But as for the D'Lo Brown comment, I've had that comparison dropped a few times. And, it's always super flattering because Kurt Angle's one of like my heroes as a fan coming up as a wrestling fan. He would always be somebody that I'd try to kind of like take things from, and especially that intensity that he carried in the ring. So if I can remind anybody of that to the point where they want to compare me to them, especially somebody who's been in the ring with him like D'Lo Brown, like it's just flattering.
Thank you and congrats and best of luck for your upcoming match.
Thank you.
Rish, thanks, buddy. I still don't know when we're coming back to India. Just for the record. Coming up next, and I'm not just saying that, guys. I'm not just saying this next part because of who's next, but just a reminder to try to keep it to one question per media member so that we can get through everybody. And with that said, Stephanie from Steel Chair Magazine over in France. Stephanie, hello.
Hi, Josh, and hi, Josh. Josh
Hello.
1, Josh 2. How are you?
I'm doing well, getting ready for Saturday.
The pressure. I wanted to ask you, what was the biggest pride of this X Division ride, and maybe the fav match, and the best of this incredible ride as an X Division champion.
I liked so much of what I was able to do. Matches against like Chris Sabin and Jake Something spring to mind as like some of my favorite matches of all time. It was great to be able to do that while I was on that X Division run. But the one that's going to stick out of my mind forever, and it's going to go down in history as one of my greatest accomplishments, is that Iron Man match against TJP. Just being able to do that in front of no fans, and then for it to get as much fanfare as it did, and to like give back to us for like all the hard work we were able to do. Just having that opportunity to go 60 minutes on a television program is something that not all the wrestlers are going to be able to say they did. So it's always going to live, as something great in my mind.
Wishing you the best for Saturday night.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Stephanie, thank you. Appreciate it. We love Steel Chair Magazine over here. I read it every day. James Walsh from the Wrestling Epicenter. Hello, James. Welcome to Press Pass with the Walking Weapon. You can get Josh Alexander's t-shirts at shopimpact.com. But James, what's your question for the number one contender for the World's Championship?
I should have talked to you guys. Thank you for having me today. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you,
bud.
Oh, cool. All right. So I had the opportunity to interview you shortly after you won the X Division Championship. It was your goal, you said. It was the goal that you had set for yourself in Impact Wrestling. This goal seems a little different now. Saturday night's a bigger stage, a bigger platform, and a bigger title, arguably. What is your thoughts going into Saturday night, and how would being the Impact Wrestling Champion compare to being the X Division Champion?
I think the only difference between the two, being champion of one or the other, is that as the Impact World Champion, you're kind of the face of the company. You're the one shouldering all the responsibility, not only for the company, but for the locker room, to lead by example and to, go out there and perform every single time. Not that I didn't do that as X Division champion. That's always something I'm going to do regardless. And that's why I think stepping into this position as a potential world champion, I'm ready for that. And I wouldn't have given up option C if I didn't think I was prepared and ready for this opportunity. So
awesome. Hoping the belt comes back to Impact. And hey, thank you so much for the time today.
No problem. See you.
James, thank you very much for your question, James, from the Wrestling Epicenter. We will now go to Nathan from Body Slams and Dropkicks podcast. Nathan, welcome to Press Pass.
Thank you, Josh. Congratulations on saving yourself there. Josh, first of all, as a fellow Canadian, it is an honor and a privilege to be talking to you right now. And it's going to be an honor and a privilege watching you at Bound for Glory. I just want to say that flat out. With the vein of flying that Impact flag, assuming you beat Christian Cage, are you going to show Kenny Omega from AEW how he should go about beating Christian, because he needs all the help he can get?
I think there's an amount of healthy competition between all Canadians in pro wrestling, especially between myself, Christian, and Kenny Omega at this moment, especially with that Impact World Championship being the topic of conversation. But, I'll welcome anybody from that forbidden door to step through if I become Impact World Champion, and they'll have to prove that they can compete with me as champion in our locker room from then on out.
Absolutely. And I wish you the best of luck again this Saturday, Bound for Glory. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Nathan.
All right, Nathan. Thank you very much for your questions and your backdrop there. We're going to go next to Lee from Perched on the top rope. Lee, you are up. What's your question for Josh Alexander?
Josh and Josh, how you guys doing today? My question stems from the fact that Josh Alexander, you are 2-0 at Bound for Glory, and your opponent Christian Cage is 1-2. Not only do you kind of have the upper advantage there, but this will be the first time at Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory that it is two Canadians going for the Impact Championship. How does that make you feel, knowing that you will actually be breaking history, win, lose, or draw, being the first Canadians for the championship?
I mean, it's no question. If you look at my ring gear, you see maple leafs all over it. And it's, you know, you see the flag on my ring shirt. Like I take a lot of pride in being a Canadian wrestler. I think that this country has produced some of the most talented wrestlers of all time over the past, you know, few decades. It's been, you know, generational. Christian, obviously, one of the ones from the 90s that came up and just made a name for himself alongside Edge. And as me being a fan when I was younger, watching like a Canadian showcase, like if it was something like Brett Nolan or something like that, like I took a lot of pride in that. So if any Canadians are watching this on Saturday night and they can see this and take a lot of pride in a couple Canadians going out there to the main event and, you know, tearing the house down, that's very special to me.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Probably.
Okay, thank you very much, Lee, from Perched on the Top Rope. And we are going to continue to move on. Still lots of hands being held up virtually in the chat. So we appreciate you guys being here, obviously, on this afternoon and whatever time it is in your corner of the world. We're going to go to George from the What Do You Call It podcast. Hello, George. Welcome to Press Pass.
There we go. First time here. Thank you for having me on. Absolute pleasure. I've just got to ask, how do you plan on celebrating, not if, but when you win the Impact World title at Bound for Glory?
Well, I have a lot of people supporting me and a lot of people, you know, that are fans of me and stuff, but I have my three biggest fans will be live in attendance that night, my wife and my two sons. So I plan on celebrating with them the only way that I know how, because I get the most fulfillment out of seeing them happy. So if and when that does happen, they will be the ones I'm celebrating with. And it'll probably be with just like, you know, a pizza with my sons and stuff like that, watching how excited they are. So
what would you have in the pizza quickly?
Pineapple belongs on pizza, my man. So it'll be Hawaiian all day long.
That's controversial, my man.
Yeah. It's a hot take for you right there.
Just a little bit, mate. Thank you for having me on,
Yeah,
and
no
good
problem.
luck this weekend. I'm excited for it.
If we don't see a headline on some of these websites that says Josh Alexander eats pineapple on pizza, I'd be sorely, sorely disappointed in everybody out there. And I agree with you, though. Pineapple does go on pizza. So thank you, George, from the What Do You Call It podcast. We're going to go to Big Gulp Media next. Najir, what's up, buddy? One of my good friends, my favorite member of the media.
What's up, Josh? And what's going on, Josh Alexander? So you've always been billed as a guy that just goes out there and does the work. That's just it. And the historic Iron Man match is clearly a testament to that. But my question is, are you ready? And are you prepared for the stardom that's going to come along with winning the title on the biggest stage this Saturday?
I mean, I have no idea. I haven't thought about that at all. I've only thought, honestly, I've only thought of if and when that does transpire, being able to, you know, champion the brand everywhere I go across the world as a wrestler, and you know, represent the company as a champion. Like I think I'm kind of old school in that sense that the champion is the one representing everything, you know, has the shoulder that responsibility, and I will certainly try to do that my best by, you know, going out there and doing the work. But as far as the stardom and whatever else might come with that, I don't know if I'll be able to navigate that. I haven't thought about that at all.
Well, get ready, because Saturday is only a few nights away.
Thanks, buddy.
Good luck, buddy.
Okay, just a reminder, anybody that hasn't asked a question yet, but you want to ask a question, make sure you put your hand up, and you can do it in the Zoom there. There's a button that allows you to virtually raise your hand. Someone who has their hand raised is James from That 90s Wrestling Podcast. James, you are on Press Pass officially. Welcome. What's your question for Josh Alexander?
Hey lads, hope you're well. Question for both of you, really. Don't know how much you're allowed to say, but for your opinions, what's your thoughts on the rumors that the former Braun Strowman, Adam Shim, might be possibly joining Impact at Bound for Glory?
Josh, you want to answer this one?
Hey, you go first, man. You were at the
All right.
baseball game when the news got dropped. Braun for Glory. I mean, I'm hearing the same rumors as James is hearing. So to me, it's one of those you got to wait and see what happens. There's no reason why you don't order the pay-per-view based on what we're hearing. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I would welcome the competition of having somebody that big into the company and all that, if it can get more eyes, I think. But at the baseball game, I just thought, Scott was just trolling everybody by making a joke. But if it does actually transpire, then it's pretty cool that a hot take happened on my wife's Twitch account.
Cool, thank you, and yeah, good luck for Saturday. Thanks.
All right, James from That 90s Wrestling Podcast. So James, thank you very much for that question. And again, folks, I mean, you do just have to, I know I'm talking to everybody that will be joining us Saturday, but you have to tune in and see what happens. Who knows what's going to go down. That was messages are being deleted. Simon, you're deleting messages in here. So thank you, James. And now I believe we're going to Mike Gilbert from Fight Game Media. Mike, you are up next. Fight Game Media.
Thanks, Josh, and kudos on the Space Force sweater. I work on a Space Force base, and so I love that sweater.
Let's chat offline.
Absolutely. Hey, Josh, there's been a lot of parallels made between your rise in 2021 and the rise of Bret Hart in 1991, 1992. He was part of that long-term tag team. He leaves the tag team, he becomes Intercontinental Champion, and then he's having all these great matches. The next thing you know, he beats Ric Flair, a legendary champion, for the world title. It's kind of a similar situation that's happening in your career right now. What do you think about those comparisons to Bret Hart?
I mean, they're incredibly flattering, as Bret Hart is probably, like, if not my favorite, my second favorite wrestler of all time. It's neck and neck up there. So yeah, it's just incredibly flattering that would happen. Just looking at like the two runs and everything like that, you can draw many comparisons. Hopefully my career goes as well as Bret's from this point out, and I'm able to defeat that legendary champion.
Awesome, Josh. Thank you, and good luck and be safe on Saturday.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Gilbert from the Fight Game Media. Mike, thank you for your questions, and we will continue to move along, guys. We've got about 28 minutes left. We're going to try to get to everybody that we can. So up next is Scott McLeod from Scotland. Hey, Scott. From Eat Sleep Suplex Retweet, Mike. Is that right? Are we having issues getting Mike on the line? Is it a line in 2021? A stream. There he is. Hey, buddy.
Hello, sorry. I had issues with the microphone there. Hi, Josh. Thank you. A lot has been made about the forbidden door between Impact, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we've seen you on New Japan Strong once or twice. I was interested to know if there was any more interest on your end about maybe appearing more for New Japan Pro Wrestling, or either be on New Japan Strong or appearing over in Japan, and if there's anybody on the New Japan roster you're particularly interested in wrestling.
Yeah, there's a ton of interest from me. I've never wrestled in Japan in my career, and that's something that's eluded me forever, and it's something I definitely need to do before my career is all said and done. As far as interest in everything else, like there's a ton of talented wrestlers in New Japan that I'm a big fan of, that I think that I would have exemplary matches with, like Shingo Takagi or Tomohiro Ishii. Like there's so many out there. Like it's just a stacked roster. I would love to be able to, represent Impact and go over there and compete.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the match on Saturday.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Scott. Moving right along, Craig from Talking Nonsense About Impact. Craig, what do you got, buddy?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Craig, I got you.
Oh yeah, so obviously the X Division Championship is of course being defended in Triple Threat at Bound for Glory. And who is your pick out of Trey, ELP, and Macklin to continue the incredible rise the X Division Championship has been on under your reign?
Who can carry the torch, as they say, of people say that my run was pretty substantial. So I look at those three, and I've been in the ring with the ELP, I've been in the ring with Trey, I've never been in the ring. It's tough. Macklin's like this X factor out there because I've never been in the ring with him, but my personal pick, like in my heart, that I want to see become an X Division champion and rise to the occasion and really like take that a little bit further, is Trey Miguel. I just think he's supremely talented, and he hasn't risen to that occasion yet, so hopefully he can at Bound for Glory.
Oh, that's an incredible choice. I think that's most people's choice, and hopefully, who knows, Trey might even cash an option C against you.
We'll see, man.
All right, thanks for having me. Take care. Good luck, Bound for Glory.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, thanks, Craig. Indeed. Coming up next, we're going to go to Germany. Our friend Marco from Wrestling Infos. Hello, Marco. Welcome to Press Pass with Josh Alexander.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for having me. Josh, my question is since you've mostly been known for a tag team competitor as the Monster Mafia and then the North, you now had an impressive year and an impressive run as a singles competitor. So the comparison to Kurt Angle already felt like, would you see yourself combining or uniting all those eligible Impact titles on your shoulders as Kurt Angle did with the TNA World years ago?
I mean, I just want to wrestle, man. And if I can wrestle against the very best and I wrestle against champions and, do all that, then that would be something, it'd be like a sweet little notch on my belt or whatever they say. But, I'm just concentrated right now on the World Heavyweight Championship and seeing what I can do Saturday at Bound for Glory. But, if I get past that, then yeah, it's always about setting new goals and trying to achieve them after that for me. So we'll see.
I can imagine that. So thank you. And my pineapple pizza people, enjoy your pizza with your son after your win, because I'm going to enjoy one myself right now.
There you go.
Straight from the oven. So good night.
All right, Marco, thank you. Coming up next is Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you are on with Josh Alexander, who competes for the World Championship this Saturday night at Bound for Glory. What do you got?
Hi, Mr. Alexander. As you stated, this is the biggest match of your career. Has anything changed preparing physically and mentally wise, or is this business as usual and you don't want to hype yourself up almost too much?
I mean, there's physically and like preparation, I think that I've been preparing the exact same way for everything. I've been preparing for like the absolute worst case scenario all the time, every time I step foot in a gym or a ring, just to prepare and train. So nothing's going to change there. But yeah, mentally it's a little bit more taxing. There's a lot more pressure. I'll admit that, the nerves are high, the anxiety is a little bit higher, but through, nearly 16 years in the wrestling business, I know that, that's all going to come to a peak as I walk to the ring. And the second that bell rings, it's all going to wash away, because then I'm in my comfort zone. I'm in the ring and we're in a wrestling match, and that's where I'm comfortable. So
thank you so much. Best of luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Jeffrey, thank you for your questions as we get ready for Saturday night. It's been an international press pass for sure. We've got questions thus far from the United States, Canada, France, India, England, Scotland, Ireland, and now for more, we're going to go to Honduras. Isaac from Wrestling Sport. Did I get that right, Isaac?
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man, in a recent interview, you mentioned that Christian career is somewhat similar to yours, So why did you think this match against Christian will take to the next level?
I just think, as you've heard in the interview already so far, people have regarded me saying I'm known as a tag team wrestler, which is completely fine. As far as Impact Wrestling, you've known me as a tag team wrestler for the first year and a half, 2 years of my career. And then everybody was sort of pleasantly surprised by what I was able to do with the X Division run and stuff like that. The thing is that I know that I can be a world champion. I know that I can be a main event player in this business, in this company, and stuff like that. So it's all about betting on myself and stepping foot in the ring this Saturday and proving that. That's it's something I know, and it's just something everybody else needs to find out. They're going to find out really fast.
So, man, I have a next question. How does it feel to wrestle with someone you consider a lady in this business?
I mean, like that's what I'm saying. The pressure is at its height. Anxiety's high because I know that Christian has all the experience, but I have the advantage of being someone that studied his entire career. For the past 25 years, I've seen nearly everything Christian's done, and I know that I'm at an advantage because I know he hasn't quite been paying attention as much to me. So we'll have a good match on Saturday night. We'll figure out who's the best.
Thank you, Josh. Good luck. Thank you, Josh Matthew. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Isaac. Josh, that was one thing that became kind of out in front of everybody last week was when we kind of threw that AEW Fan Fest and Christian, joking or not, said, "Yeah, I don't even know who that is." So either not taking you seriously or having some fun at your expense. And then you left, right? Things got kind of weird. You left, and what's your thoughts since then as we get ready now for Saturday?
It's just all thoughts are on the match, man. All the time for all this talking is done. Christian wants to play these games and try to say that my emotions are going to get the best of me and all this other stuff. And that's fine. He clearly doesn't know me because that's not going to work to his advantage whatsoever in my mind. I think it's something that's only helped me in my career, that intensity that I bring in the ring and, being angry. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, the time for talk is almost over because we got a couple more questions, and we're going to go right now to J-Bone from Total Nonstop Impact. J-Bone, you're on with Josh Alexander.
Hey, Josh, thanks for doing this. And then, like you said, I know all focus is going into this weekend, your title shot with Christian Cage. But hey, we're doing Vegas this weekend. Are you looking forward to taking in anything else besides? I know you got the Bound for Glory and the tapings, but are you looking forward to just clearing your head, doing anything else this weekend in Vegas?
I mean, nothing's going to occur before that night. Afterwards, I have a couple plans to bring my family around to some sightseeing and stuff like that. We might go to the Hoover Dam and stuff, but I'm a pretty quiet guy. I don't take in any of the nightlife usually. So I'm just going to enjoy, being in a nice hotel room and being able to stretch my legs here and there.
Gotcha. Well, thanks everyone. And I hope everyone stays safe this weekend and the tapes following going forward.
Thank you, J-Bone. As he mentioned, we will be in Vegas Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then we return in November, Turning Point on the 20th, TV the 21st, 22nd, and it'll be our last time in Vegas in 2021. So don't miss out on those incredible nights as well. And maybe Josh Alexander will be the Impact World Champion when we get back. Our last question comes to us from the Pro Wrestling Post. This is Dylan. Dylan, make it a good one, buddy. You're the last one of the day.
Oh, thanks for having me. So it was announced yesterday that Bound for Glory officially sold out. With you being in the main event, much of the fan base really clamoring for you to win that title. What's it mean to you as such a long tenured Impact employee to have that level of fan support? And that being especially in a time where there's so many quality options for fans to watch today.
I mean, it's definitely all great. I think that for me, all the fanfare and stuff like that, it comes from, I'm an Impact talent and that people want to see that Impact world championship brought back home to this locker room, regardless of Christian's history here, you know, in this company. I think like he's still a member of a different locker room when it's all said and done. He's stepping in here as a stranger to our locker room. So I think there's a lot of fanfare behind me for that. I think the second part of it is just like, it's kind of been earned because, you know, I'm a quiet guy. I don't go out there and, you know, ask for everybody's support. I just kind of focus on what I love to do. And that's like, just have a wrestling match. And I think through the hard work I've put into that ring and, you know, it's just like, it's brought people, you know, towards, to know me more and, you know, really get behind me. And it's just like the story stepping into the match Saturday night is just like, if you're on the fence about watching this show or ordering this show or, you know, whatever it is, then I don't understand, because you have a legend in Christian Cage, somebody coming in with, you know, the majority of people behind him, because the majority of people know him. I am the relative unknown stepping into this position. I'm the one with something to prove. But if you look at me and you look at my story, it's been nearly 16 years of hurdles and ups and downs, and it's just somebody that's it. And this opportunity now that it's to do everything I can to make the best of it. So if you're on the fence about ordering it, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, because I'm definitely going to give everything I have on Saturday night.
Well, I appreciate you.
Excellent.
And we will see what happens Saturday night, Bound for Glory, live on pay-per-view, 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you're joining us in Vegas, doors open at 6, but make sure you are there and ready, because everything is going to get started at 6:30 with Countdown to Glory, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony of Awesome Kong. The digital media champion will be crowned. And then at the top of the hour, Bound for Glory, live on pay-per-view, streaming on Fight. And of course, you can order on YouTube. That's something new for Bound for Glory. So if you want to check it out there, you can. Josh, I want to thank you for your time. Wish you the best of luck. I'm not calling the show Saturday, so I can say that. I don't have to be partial or impartial. So I hope that we are all celebrating the walking weapon come the end of the night.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you so much. Don't forget, there is a press pass tomorrow, same time as we did today, and that will be with the Inspiration, who make their Impact debut at Bound for Glory, challenging Decay for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. So with that said, everybody enjoy your evenings or the rest of your day, and we will see you all tomorrow.